Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Broku. Today is a review of the Black Clover manga, chapter 271, titled Union. And I did sort of a quasi-review on the leaked chapters. This is the official chapter with the high-quality art scans and the official translation, which it reads much better than the unofficials. So, with that being said, we're going to get into this review. Just to remind you guys, I am an online personal trainer. If you want to hire me, I can get you in shape by the spring or summer, depending on how fast you do want to go. And yeah, you can hire me. Also, like to write stories on Storyfire. Storyfire is like a YouTube, but for like writing stories. I'm a multiple-time award-winning writer on that site, and I am currently doing a weekly fantasy series on there. If you want to go check it out. So I will leave a link to my Storyfire down below. It'd be much appreciated if you can check that out. And I think you guys would probably like it. I mean, Black Clover is a fantasy story, so if you like Black Clover, you'll probably like my story. It's already, both chapters have won top story awards. But anyways, guys, that being said, let's get into the chapter review. Now, I do want to say also, I'm not really going to be including mini panels, just because it's only been a few weeks since Shueisha did the copyright strikes, the false ones, because I told you guys that I was going to counterclaim, and well, I won the counterclaim. Again, because I've counterclaimed every single one of the copyright strikes, and I've won every single one, because they don't know how copyright works, or they probably do. They're just abusing their power. So yeah, I won that, but still, I think I'm gonna wait maybe 1 to 2 more weeks just to give a little bit more breather room, because I don't want to get another copyright strike or a false one. So I might maybe use some panels and just turn down the opacity so that it wouldn't really be picked up by Shueisha, but. That being said, let's get into it. So it starts off, Noct is in his transformation mode. He's got the devil tail, the devil horns. He looks freaking sick. I love this transformation. Now, when I saw the unofficial, the really poor scans, the form doesn't look as good. In the official translations, with the official high-quality scans, I think that Noct's transformation looks really cool. It's called Devil Union Mode Canis. Now, I think the Canis, I'm going to actually look up the word right now real quick. I believe it has something to do with dogs, just because his later magic spell would have to do with a pack. Yeah, so Canis is animal, it's a species, it's a genus, and it's like the dogs, wolves, coyote, they're canine, and stuff like that. So yeah, it makes sense why this is Canis, why it's called that. That's kind of caught my eye when I was first reading it. So yeah, that's a dog sort of thing, a canine sort of thing, so it makes sense. But so basically this is like the, I guess, the official name for when you go into a black form as a devil user, essentially, I'd say. So this is probably what Asta is going to be doing at some point, where he does not just his black form, it's going to be called Devil Union Mode. And I don't know if he'll have some sort of Canis, because it seems that Gimodello, I think at least, he has like some sort of dog magic or something like that, and that's why when Noct does a transformation, he is like a dog, and then he also has a spell that has to do with a dog or canines or wolves, because it's called pack. But so I don't know how it'll work with Asta. Maybe it's a different sort of thing, but Noct says, Asta, the only way for you to get stronger is to unite with that devil and draw out all of his anti-magic power. Now he starts to attack Asta, and then Asta activates his black form, and this turns Lieb into the chibi form. And this is what happens when Asta, this is what happens when Lieb give Asta his power. He goes into his chibi form. So Noct says, in Devil Binding contracts, the initiative belongs entirely to the one giving the orders. In other words, the human. That's why I can use Union so easily. Your current condition isn't Union. The devil's power is only trickling into you. And so Asta is still only using a very, very small amount of Lieb's power, because he's not using the Union, he's just using the trickling power. And this is where Noct activates another version or another spell, and he says, using Devil Union lets me add the characteristics of each of my devils to shadow magic. One of Gimodello's characteristics is pack. So it was Gimodello, yeah. So Gimodello, does he have dog magic, or what exactly is going on here? I mean, it looks like dogs. It's a pack. Noct's form is called Canis, and the dog even has a collar with a chain on it, like when you have a pet dog, you have like a leash and a collar on it. So, and also, Noct calls it characteristics, and He does call his own magic Shadow Magic, which also, I'm not 100% sure. I believe the Jack said that Noct didn't have Shadow Magic, although I'm not 100% sure. But so I would, I guess, assume that Dog Magic or something of that nature is Gimodelo's magic. So he's combining Dog Magic with his Shadow Magic, and it looks really cool. I thought it was really awesome. And each of these shadows, of these wolves, they have the same key as Noct, so it's very hard for Asta to try and figure out which one of these is Noct. And Noct says that the shadows won't disappear until he defeats him. And this is, again, I remember when people were saying that I was wrong to say that Noct had pacts with multiple devils. They said they were trying to tell me that it was just one with Gimodelo. The others weren't actually devils, they were just spells. But Asta even says, so he's got contracts with 4 devils. So yeah, this confirms it. And Noct also confirms that because he made a contract to be equal with Leave and not to be his superior, it's going to be harder to use the 100% power. So Asta's like, well, oh well, I'll surpass my limits. And he starts using Yami's katana and fights off the shadows, and he actually hits Noct in the shoulder. And Asta calls it the Demon Slasher Katana. As he says Demon Slasher, then he says, your name is the Demon Slasher Katana. And he said, let's go get Captain Yami together. We'll surpass our limits right here, right now. And then Noct says, I hate that phrase. Now, we know that he would hate that phrase because he seemingly doesn't like Yami. But one of the things I'm going to say, guys, is that Demon Decapitator sounded so much better than Demon Slasher. Now, Demon Slasher is, in my opinion, it's somewhat similar to Slayer, just in the actual wording. Now, it's, Slasher and Slaying, bit different in terms of definition, but it sounds the same. Decapitator had that nice alliteration, the double D, the Demon Decapitator sword, and that sounded so much better than the unofficials. So Demon Slasher, I just don't like it as much. One of those rare moments, I guess, where the unofficials does better than the officials in terms of naming. I like this image of Asta here, though. I think it's really cool. You guys see him using Yami's katana. He's in his partial black form. You get to see the black bull on the katana, and then also you get to leave on the shoulder in his chibi form. So I think what's going to happen, kind of what I said in my previous review, that Asta's going to just have to use more and more power. Either he's going to use his full Devil Union mode and defeat Noct, or he's going to go into his Berserk state, the 3-horn form, which should be 75% Devil Union or something like that, and he's going to win. Now, like I said, Asta has to be able to defeat Noct if he wants to be any help in this fight against the Cliff-Off Devils. We were confirmed that the lower level Cliff-Off Devils will equal to the Dark Triad, and then they get even stronger from there on out up to Lucifero. And then Noct says he cannot defeat a Dark Triad member, so if Asta cannot defeat Noct, then he cannot defeat a Dark Triad member, so he's going to have to be able to defeat Noct. And this puts him at a weird, I guess, situation where he is going to be stronger than the vice captain. Does this mean that Asta might be the temporary captain going into this fight and this kind of squad to take down the Cliff-Off Devils because he's going to be stronger than his own vice captain? Now again, power doesn't equal rank necessarily. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio, so he could be stronger. Noct probably just has, not probably, he has way more experience, but then again, even though he's a vice captain, he doesn't lead anything. He goes on missions by himself. Asta actually has more experience as a leader of the Black Bulls, as he's led and been the leader in fights multiple times. They already trust him fully. He's a very charismatic leader for the Black Bulls, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was temporarily the captain until they saved Yami. Just because while Noct has the vice captain title, he doesn't do anything when it comes to leadership. He is a spy. He goes to other kingdoms and does that. He is not really a leader. Now, overall, I think Asta will defeat Noct, and I think it will end up being somewhat quite easily once he gets more power, just based on the fact of him actually using much more of Leave's power. So he should already be quite strong right now, because even though he is only using 2-horn black form, he has the Devil's Bargain with the arm, which makes him much stronger than even the 3-horn black form. and then if it goes with 3-horned Blackhorn on top of that, this version of the 3-horned Blackhorn will be far stronger than the one that he used against 60% Dante. Then we might have him using the full Devil Union 4-horn form, which at that point, it shouldn't even be close with Noct. Asta should be able to easily defeat Noct if he wants to have any chance against the Dark Triad and the other Clip-Off Devils. But that being said, I think that's pretty much it for my review. And so, yeah, I really like to see Noct's powers. I wonder if he will use any of his other Devil Unions with the other Devils, because he's only using with Modelo right now. And I'm wondering how that power system works for Noct. Does he only get one Devil's power at a time? Can he only use one of their magic types at a time? Or can he use all 4? And if so, for how long? Or can he only use maybe a mixture of maybe 2 or 3 at a time and has to leave one out? I want to see that. And I don't see more just overall spells, but it's still quite impressive that Asta was able to hit Noct, who is a vice captain level mage who's also very good with using devil power. I wonder how much he can use. It didn't say percentage-wise. It's weird how the Dark Triad, they use percentages, whereas Noct is using a Devil Union mode. So I wonder if this transformation is even better than using percentages. Just really weird, I guess, how that works. Maybe it's just works in a very different way. I'm sure it probably does. But that being said, that's it for my review, my summary, my analysis. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You guys all have an amazing day. Plus...